The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Money's coming to me.
The economy is kind of a mess right now, just simply getting people to work healthy in a way that's necessary for productivity. So at least as it relates in the near term, I think that's one thing that needs to be considered.
Yeah, too messy, the economy, just too messy. But wait a minute, hold on. Let's listen to Jamie Dimon, what he says about the economy.
Consumer balance sheet has never been in better shape. They're spending 25% more today than pre-COVID. They've got $2 trillion in their checking accounts. They have the wherewithal to spend more. They've paid down a lot of debt. Their debt service ratio is better than it's been since we've been keeping records for 50 years. Home prices are up, stock prices are up, jobs are plentiful, wages are going up. And that all tells you what's going to happen in the future.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be just fantastic. Listen to Jamie Dimon. Isn't it amazing? The timing was perfect for that little announcement yesterday. Now, if you were my member, you would have heard, and I said this on my radio show yesterday, I said to my members early on, I said, look, you notice what's going on? The market, if you look at the S&P is dropping. But the bank stocks are going up. I said, that is a very dangerous divergent. Because how can you have the S&P going up, but the bank stocks, the bank stocks are going up and the S&P going down? How can you have the bank stocks, again, going up and the S&P going down? It doesn't make any sense. And then we saw the NASDAQ stocks all dropping. So when you looked on any chart, it looked weird. Didn't make any sense. Because remember, the banks lead everything. The banks push that S&P up. But here you go, the S&P is dropping like a flying crowbar. So is the NASDAQ. And here they are, the bank stocks trying to push them up. It's a very, very dangerous divergence because it sends a message. It sends a message that the higher yields, which are needed to drive those bank stocks up, were being rejected by the economy. The message from the market was, we can't absorb these high yields. That's why the S&P was sending a message. That's why the S&P was dropping. So while you have the Federal Reserve artificially pushing up those bank stocks by selling treasuries to keep those yields up, keep those yields high, to push them up, the message was clear that the economy could not absorb the high yields that it takes to push up the bank stocks. And what happened? The S&P dropped, the NASDAQ dropped the most. The NASDAQ was almost ready to, just totally go under. But the Federal Reserve plunger team came in and saved the day. Did you ever notice, and many people always wonder this, how come the market went down 200-300 points, and then all of a sudden, right before the close of the day, the market goes up 200-300 points? How the hell does that happen? Or the market closed. You ever wonder how the market closes down 300-400 points, the next morning you wake up and the implied opens up 85 points, 200 points? What the hell happened overnight? Well, that's what happened yesterday. The market was dropping, going straight down. The NASDAQ was the leader on the way down. The S&P was on the way down. And all of a sudden, the plunger team stopped. They go into the market. They buy what they call futures to stop the fall. And then all of a sudden, boom, the market goes right back up. Now, understand what this little trick is. It's what they call the plunger team. It's a team. It consists of the chair of the Federal Reserve, the chairman of the FTC, Futures Trading Commission, the SEC, Federal Reserve, SEC, and the FTC, and the president. That's right, the president. What they did is intervene yesterday. They said, we have to stop this. So what we'll do is we'll print all this money, and we'll give it to J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon, but we'll have Jamie Dimon come on. At the same time, they take that money, and they go in and buy the futures, what they call index futures. We'll have him come on at the same time as we're pushing that market up by printing money, giving to J.P. Morgan. They go and buy index futures. We'll push the bottom into the market. You'll push it back up, and Jamie Dimon will come on and say this.
We're going to have the best growth year we've ever had this year since, maybe sometime before the Great Depression. And so next year will be pretty good too. Consumer balance sheet has never been in better shape. They're spending 25% more.
So he came on at the same time the market starts turning around to convince you. But remember what they did. They financially engineered the market to come around, the plunger team, by simply going in and buying index futures. And what's that mean? Well, let's say the market's on the way down like it was yesterday. So let's say, just give you an example, let's say a stock was at $100, and the stock started to drop, and then it was down to like $50. Well, if they want that stock to stop dropping, they go in and they buy what they call futures. And they're in the futures saying, okay, I'm going to pay, here we are today, January 11th, 2022. I'm going to pay for that stock. It's trading at 50. I'm going to have a future price. I'm going to pay out in the future another 2 months from now, $80. I think the stock's going to go to 80. Now, so when they go in and buy all these futures, that's what they're basically saying. And anybody who's selling the stock and the market's going down, they say, whoa, 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 stop. I got to buy my stock back because of all these futures coming in. That's how the plunger team rigs it. It's the same thing when you see the market go down during the day and all of a sudden it goes up right before the closing. Or the market's down 400 points, you wake up next morning and the implied opens up 85, 90 points. That's what they did yesterday, and they brought him on to make his speech how everything's terrific when everything isn't terrific. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's called financial engineering. And you want to know what's really interesting? Is Powell. This guy is just a born liar. Remember when Powell said, he made a speech twice, that Powell said that it was transitory. Inflation is transitory. Remember, he said that in January 2018. He said it again in 2021 when he knows it's not transitory. Listen to what he said.
So what I mean by transitory is just something that doesn't leave a permanent mark on the inflation process.
What he means is that it's transitory. It's not permanent. All this inflation is not permanent. Well, he knows that's a lie. He knew inflation started in 2008 on purpose, called QE. After the market crashed, they came in with quantitative easing. And who's they? Well, you had President George W. Bush, baby Bush. You had Bernanke, and then you had the incoming President Obama. More when we get back. Don't listen to these guys. Listen to our show, please.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the markets open We watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Today, did you notice? I pointed this out to my gang members. The S&P is going down while they're pushing the bank stocks up. Have you ever seen that? Bank stocks going up here. Look at this. Tell me the last time you've seen this. Banks going up, and you got the S&P going down. The banks always lead. Isn't that amazing? What's that telling you? It tells you this market is as close as it's very close to a correction, if not a crash. Now, that's what I said to my gang members yesterday early. So we could take the profits we had in our banks and then put a stop in. So we were nice and safe when we had our profits. And then if the banks were going to go down further, we would short them and make money on the way down. So they were set up perfectly, my members, for this. And we sold into that rally. But let me explain what's going on. Yesterday, all of a sudden the market says, since 2008, with this QE, when you decided in 2008 you would not go into a recession, G.W. Baby Bush, Bernanke, Obama, you decided not to go in a recession, and what you would do is replace the industrial stocks, the value stocks, the energy stocks, big industrial stocks, energy, material stocks, your transportation stocks, everything that grows this country. Because see, what happened is when the market crashed in 2008, there was tremendous debt. And what drives the market is industrials. And what drives the market, well, how it drives the market, because it's all about earnings. It's about earnings. Everything's earnings. That's what drives stocks. That's what drives your 401k. If we have earnings. But in 2008, they decided not to clean up all the debt. They decided not to do a recession. Why? Because I told you the other day. Because they weren't going to disrupt the banks. If they went into a recession, they would have to break the banks up. And that would have been very bad because Hillary, if you remember, was running for president. And also remember, it was the banks that funded G.W. Baby Bush. It was the banks that funded Obama. It was the banks that was funded Hillary against Trump. So they couldn't touch these banks. Now that causes a big problem. So because the banks are part of the value stocks, which are part of the industrial group, the transport group that drives our country. And how do stock prices go up? On good earnings. Earnings is the mother's milk of our economy. Earnings. But now that they couldn't do earnings anymore, they said, here's what we'll do. Powell, and Bernanke rather, they came up with the idea, never mind earnings. Let's start taking the tech stocks and we'll do QE. We'll do quantitative easing. We'll print all this money, massive amount of money. It's going to be very inflationary. But we're going to take all this money, we're going to print it, and we're going to buy treasuries and more treasuries and get yields down, interest rates down. And then everybody will be going after the tech stocks because nothing drives tech stocks more than these low yields, very low yields. They love low yields. So off the bottom in 2008, remember what they did. The Fed came in and intervened, QE1, QE2, then they called the twist, then QE3. That was their first intervention, printing this money, QE, to drive yields down and to push those tech stocks up. They said, wow, this is good. We can keep pushing this market up. We don't need earnings. Market's hundreds of years old. We don't need earnings anymore. People won't know the difference. They also don't know that QE is a confidence game. It's one of the biggest confidence game ever. The idea with QE is that you can drive stock prices up by simply driving down yields. But the problem is it caused tremendous inflation. And that's why Powell's a liar. When Powell came on twice and told us it was transitory. He knew it wasn't transitory. He knew that. Because QE is tremendous inflation. You can't keep printing money, because all of a sudden what happens is you have too much money chasing too few goods. But the market kept going up. And then we get Yellen. Janet Yellen comes in, 2015. She's going to take Bernanke's place. She knows what's going on. She knows what QE is, and she's really scared to death about this inflation because inflation's a killer. Every president knows that. It kills economies. So she said, I'm going to start raising rates. And it was the first rate, in 8 years? In 2015 and 2016, she raised another rate. And then 2017, just before she was leaving, she raised 3 more rates. Now, rates were going up. Trump comes into office. He wants to keep the market going up. He should have said, let's have a recession. Let's clean this mess up. Let's take the stocks, the industrial stocks that built this nation, built this country through good earnings. And remember what you need. If you're going to have industrial stocks like Caterpillar going up and material stocks like International Paper, you're going to have all these groups go up. You need earnings. And where do earnings come from? Business investment. But see, they knew in 2008, and she knew by 2015, nobody does business investment when there's big debt on these companies because they never went into a recession. They never cleaned it up. So they wouldn't clean that debt up. So who's going to invest? Nobody. And the companies weren't even investing. They're doing stock buybacks. So what happens? And what's going to happen now? I'll tell you when I get back. Join my gang. Free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
What's going to drive the market in 2022 is earnings growth.
Are you kidding? Earnings haven't been driving the market since 2008, and that's by design. That's by design. From 2008 to where we are today, earnings do not drive the market. Yields have been driving the market. What's drove the market? Tech stocks, right? And what do you do to drive tech stocks, to drive the market? You make sure yields go down. Low yields drive the market. In 2008, they designed it that way because they knew by not going into a recession and cleaning up what drove this economy for years, industrial stocks, material stocks, everything that transportation. They wanted to protect the banks because they didn't want to break the banks up because Obama owed the banks. Baby Bush owed the banks. Hillary owed the banks. Everybody owed the banks. That's how they get in office. They were going to break them up. So, without breaking those banks up, we were screwed. So, And without going into a recession, I mean, we're screwed. You can't get earnings because nobody is going to invest in these in material or industrial stocks or transportation stocks. Who's going to invest? Remember, those companies always took their profits and plowed it back in for more earnings. That all stopped in 2008. This was a con job. Remember, QE is a con job, a confidence game, and it cost you on Main Street, $40 trillion. You got $40 trillion less in wage because Main Street paid for QE, just like the savers paid for zero rates. To compensate the zero rates, what they do, they drop savings rates from 5 and 4% down to almost nothing. Everybody got screwed except the 1 percentile. And all they had to do is take the tech stocks and keep those yields low, and the market would go. And so from 2008 up to 2015, the market went nuts, all on low yields. But Yellen knew that there was a problem. To keep those yields low, to push the stock market up. And by the way, remember, they attached 7 stocks, big tech stocks, to the S&P 500 as a booster to make sure those 7 stocks would push up the S&P, the other 494 stocks or whatever. 2015, she gets worried and she started to raise rates. She said, I got to stop this. So she raised rates once. Big deal. Quarter point 2016, didn't do anything. She's going to be leaving now in 2017. Trump took over. She raises rates 3 more times. By the time we got to 2018, Powell says, oh, we're going to raise rates now. We're going to taper now because he knows that all this QE, to keep buying Treasury, to drop yields down, to keep pushing up the stock market, a big fake market with tech stocks, it was all going to blow up at some point because of the inflation. So he said, I got to fight inflation. So he said, I'm going to raise rates in 2018. Trump said, yeah, let's do it because, and Trump, remember, was just as bad as everybody else in the point of he kept pushing the market. He kept pushing the market every day. I'm responsible for this market. Look what I'm doing. Look at the market's up. That's me. And he wanted to make sure we didn't get back to earnings. He wanted to make sure we stay with QE. He wanted to make sure we kept printing and printing and printing and printing to keep interest rates down by buying treasuries. Nobody wanted to go back to industrial stocks. Nobody wanted to go back to material stocks. Nobody wanted to go back to Caterpillar. Nobody wanted to go back to the stocks that made this country. Nobody wanted to go back to the railroads. Nobody wanted to go back to the steel companies. They wanted those tech stocks. And then they took 7 of the biggest tech stocks, tied them to the S&P. 2018 comes, they start raising rates, boom, market drops 20%. Then they turn around, what they do? Drop yields right away. Went in, more printing, drop those yields down. Then the market rallies up to 2019. And 2019 is after that 2018, they drop the yields down, and the market starts rallying 2019. But think about this. In 2019, the market rallied 30%. You know what the earnings were? 0. No earnings. In 2020, after the market crashed. Why did the market crash? Oh, you're saying, well, because of Cuba. No, that was the trigger. But what dropped the market in 2020, yields went up again. They're 155 basis points from 55 basis points. They're too high. They dropped. So the market dropped in 2018 because of high yields. Then they lowered the yields, and the market rallied all the way up through 2019. And then we got to 2020, market dropped again because yields were too high. Then at the end of 2020, they dropped yields down to 85 basis points, and then the market soared. And then Powell, what's he do? He tells us, he tells us since September, don't worry about don't worry about inflation. Don't worry about inflation. October comes, same thing. Don't worry about inflation. December comes, what's he do? He switches. He switches to the banks because he knows I got to get out of these tech stocks and I got to get back to the banks. I got to get back to the banks. I got to get back to earnings. This inflation is going to take us down. We're going to have the biggest crash in history. I got to get back to the banks. Those are growth stocks. Value stocks. We got to get back to value stocks. this QE confidence game is over. So December, he starts buying the banks. Right before Christmas, remember, he started to buy the banks. And the banks start moving up. Then all of a sudden yesterday, we see the S&P going down and the banks going up. And the first thing I said to my gang members, start taking some money out of your bank stocks. Because this is a bad divergence. Exactly what happened. And I told them this was going to happen. Look, if you're going to continue to listen to these jibber jabbers, are you kidding me? What a con job yesterday. They bring in the biggest gangster. There's no bigger gangster than Jamie Dimon. No bigger gangster. I could go through all the crime he committed. I could go through he's the one that created the subprime market where he sold all the bad subprime mortgages, bundled them, and then he paid to make sure they had all AAA rating, and he sold them all to investors, and that's how the market went down, because that gangster. But that's not important right now. The thing that's important right now is to get across to you, we're getting to a point now that they can't rally the market up to new highs with banks. We saw that yesterday. And they can't rally the market up to new highs with tech. So the market's not going to accept banks because they can't accept high yields. We saw that yesterday. And now if they go back to tech stocks, try to put tech stocks up to make the market keep moving, the economy can't accept inflation. So he's got two things going together. Banks, if he's going to try to get the banks to move the market back up, or what we call the value stocks, transportation stocks, material stocks, industrial stocks, bank stocks, going to try to move them back up. You can't do it. We saw it yesterday because the economy will not accept the high yields that it takes to move those kind of stocks up. But the economy also can't take the tech stocks anymore because to move them up, you got to print more money. And that's inflation. So they're screwed with the banks because the economy can't absorb the high yields. And they're screwed with tech now. They can't rally those because the economy can't accept or absorb the inflation they need to push those stocks up. Join my gang free for 10 days. 877-600-GANG, and you always be in the right position. And here's the good thing. When the market goes down, you're going to make money on the way down because you're going to know how to short.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
The economy is kind of a mess right now.
The reason why he's saying the economy is a mess, what he's talking about is, if you go look now, the banks are trying to move up, and then at the same time they're trying to move up the value stocks. They're trying to move up the growth stocks. And then yields right now are at 170 basis points, I believe. What's the yield rate now? 170? 174 basis points. We hit 180. See what they're doing? They're printing money now, and they're buying treasury to drop those yields back down. They think, you know what? I went and tried to move the banks in December, but the banks aren't working, Paul's saying, because they need high yields. And the market said yesterday, we're not going to accept high yields, and we can't absorb it. We just can't. And now they're going to try to move up the tech stocks. But he's going to find the same thing. The economy's going to say, I can't absorb the inflation from all the printing of money to drop yields down, to buy treasury, drop rates down, drop yields down, so the stocks will go up. So here's the best thing in the world. And by the way, stop listening about earnings. It doesn't matter anymore. That stopped in 2008. That's been a con job. Who cares about earnings? Look, 2019, when earnings were zero, the market rallied 30%. And 2020, the earnings were minus 33%. The market rallied 16%. 2021, earnings minus 21%. Market rallied 27%. What do you mean? What do you mean earnings? That's a con job. Now they don't know what to do. Paul's sitting there. He's like staring into the dark. He doesn't know what to do. He's an idiot. And the Federal Reserve has always been wrong. So please listen to me. If you're with my gang membership, here's the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. You will always know what to do, meaning every day we open our, when you're a member, you have access to my portfolio and you have access to the gang's portfolio. And every day at 2 o'clock, Steve takes our portfolio. He tells you what to do with every stock in the portfolio.
Schlumberger, continue to hold this one now. It's breaking out. You can actually add to your Schlumberger, but just keep in mind that the daily is high and tight and very close to rolling over there.
So he tells you everything you need to know about that stock. You come home for dinner. After dinner, open up your laptop, whatever, spend 15 minutes. You know exactly what to do with Schlumberger. You know exactly what to do with the stocks that are in my portfolio or the stocks that are in the working investor portfolio. When you join the gang for 10 days, you get access to those. And we ask you for the first 10 days, while you're reviewing this and learning, please do not go in and use real money to buy these stocks. The 10 days is for you to take a look and follow us, and you'll see that the biggest thing you got to learn, and you will, is how to sell short. 80% of the people lose money in the market because they don't know how to sell a stock short. 80% of the people lose money in the market because they don't know the difference between a yield and a banana peel. They wouldn't know a yield if they tripped over. And those jibber jabbers on TV, these geniuses, they wouldn't know a good stock if they tripped over because they don't care. They read cue cards and they tell you that they're there to get you excited. That's the whole deal. Don't you understand that? That's their job, to get you excited, to get you to feel good. So you go buy stuff. They want you buying stuff. And when they rig this market to go up, you don't know how to handle it when it comes back down. And then you get mad at the market. Instead of making money on the way down. But no, you get out of the market. Isn't that crazy? Why would you get out? If you know what you're doing, you just simply short the market. That's all. And we'll show you how to do that. You'll finally be part of the 20% to make money constantly. Constantly. I promise you. And all we ask you, please help St. Jude. That's all. Please help St. Jude. Send a little money to St. Jude. Listen. Value companies. Value companies. People buy the value companies because they're stable. They have stable earnings. Now think what they did. The value companies, whether it's International Paper or GE or IBM, or all the value companies, Caterpillar, people bought those for years and years because they want stable earnings. That's how this used to work. That means you get higher dividends because the returns are higher. The dividends are higher. Value companies were what you want to invest in. And when they dropped, you got a bargain. You got a bargain. But that all went away in 2008. It all became a con job. But we made a lot of money during the con job. But the problem with the con job? $40 trillion of that con job. It cost the people on Main Street. It should have went to their wages. $40 trillion. Are you nuts? That's $1,500 a month you would otherwise have in your checking account, in your payroll. You know what these guys did in 2008? They screwed you on your wages. You paid for this QE. If you knew what you're doing, you'd have made a fortune because it was so easy. Because all they did is drop those yields down and tech keep going up. But here's what people don't know. 7 stocks since 2008 drove the entire S&P. Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, and Facebook. They tied those stocks to the S&P, so all they had to do is drop the yields, and the market goes up. It pushes up all the rest of them. But here's the biggest problem we got right now. All the stock buyback that kept driving these stocks up, it's over. It's over. The fun part is when we do get this crash, my members are going to make more money on the way down than on the way up because the market falls that much faster. Remember, nothing like those tech stocks. Yes, they're growth stocks, and there's nothing wrong in buying them. We've made a lot of money on Apple and Microsoft like everybody else. But the problem is that's not what sustains a market. That's not what sustains a market. What sustains a market are value companies like Caterpillar, those kind of companies. But nobody's been interested in those. And now, why do you think they kept going with QE for so long? Just think about it. They could run this stock market up so high with no earnings. With no earnings. What a wonderful thing. No profits. You don't need profits. One thing we know about earnings growth, it's essential to move stock prices higher. But that's gone. We don't need earnings anymore. We need low yields to move the market up, because all we needed from low yields is to move up the tech stocks for 14 years. Earnings are essential. They're crucial when assessing a company's profitability. And they're a major, major factor in determining what's the company's stock price, what's the value, what's the PE ratio. We don't do that anymore. When they used to be in institutional investors and hedge funds, when they were interested in purchasing an energy company, for example, $18 a share, before they do, they identify at $18 a share how much are they paying for every $1 of earnings. To find that out, they just divided their earnings per share, $2, into the 18. That's 9. That means they're paying for every $1 of earnings. Every $1 of earnings, they're paying $18. A multiple of 9, rather. Multiple of 9, which means it'll take 9 years of earnings for that investor to recover the price they paid. But see, it was all around earnings. Everything evolved around earnings and dividends. That all went away. Why don't you do me a favor? No. Do yourself a favor. Join my gang free for 10 days. 877-600-GANG. And you get the color-coded chart free. At the end of the 10 days, then you can identify what you want to do. Please help St. Jude if you do stay with us, please. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.